The rain hammered against the windows as thunder cracked in the distance. James had been sitting quietly in his living room, sipping tea and going over a late-night report from work, when a sudden knock startled him. It wasn't a polite knock, it was urgent, desperate. Slowly, he walked toward the door, half expecting it to be a neighbor asking for help during the storm. But when he pulled it open, the sight before him made his breath catch. Standing there in the pouring rain was none other than Catherine Hale, his powerful and intimidating CEO. She was a woman who usually radiated authority in tailored suits and commanding speeches. But tonight, she was different. Her hair was soaked, her elegant white dress clung to her skin, and her expression was filled not with confidence, but with fear. Beside her, clutching tightly to her hand, was a young boy. He looked no older than 7, his small face pale and his eyes wide as the storm raged behind them. The boy's clothes were drenched, and his little hands trembled as if he had been running for hours. James froze, unsure if he was hallucinating. What was his CEO doing here? Why was she holding a child's hand? And why did she look as though she had just escaped from something terrible? James, Catherine's voice was shaky but firm, please, let us in. Her words echoed louder than the thunder outside. There was no explanation, no time for questions. Something about the way she looked at him, desperation mixed with trust, made James step aside, though his mind raced with doubts. And as they stepped into his home, dripping water across the floor, James had no idea that opening that door would change his life forever. The warmth of James's home was a stark contrast to the storm outside, but the tension in the air was heavier than the thunderclouds above. Catherine gently guided the boy inside, her eyes darting to the windows as though expecting someone, or something, to appear out of the darkness. The boy clutched her hand, his small frame trembling. James shut the door, his voice caught between curiosity and disbelief. "Miss Hale, what on earth is going on?" She flinched at his tone, then lowered herself to the couch with the boy beside her. For a long moment, she stared at the floor, water dripping from her curls, her chest rising and falling with deep, shaky breaths. When she finally spoke, her words made James's heart race. "This is my son, Alex." Her voice cracked, filled with a mixture of shame and fear. "I've kept him hidden, from everyone. The company, the board, even friends. No one knows he exists." James blinked in shock. His CEO, who ruled their corporate world with iron confidence, had a secret child. A secret she had hidden so carefully that not even rumors ever hinted at it. "Why?" James asked quietly. Her eyes lifted to his, brimming with fear. "Because his father is dangerous. He was powerful, ruthless, and when I left him, I knew he wouldn't stop until he had control of me, or worse, Alex. Tonight, he found us. We barely escaped." Lightning flashed, illuminating the fear in Alex's wide eyes. Catherine placed a protective arm around him, her strength faltering as her vulnerability showed. James felt his pulse quicken. The situation was no longer about work, power, or office politics. His CEO wasn't just Catherine Hale tonight. She was a mother, terrified, running for her child's life. A sudden screech of tires outside made Catherine jolt upright. Her eyes widened as if she had been caught in a nightmare made real. James's heart skipped a beat, and he instinctively moved toward the window, peeking through the blinds. A black car had pulled up across the street, its headlights slicing through the rain. The engine rumbled menacingly, and though the storm muffled sound, James swore he could hear the faint click of a car door opening. "They found us," Catherine whispered, pulling Alex close. Her usually steady voice trembled with panic. James turned back to her, his mind racing. He was an ordinary employee, a middle manager who spent his life buried in spreadsheets and reports. He wasn't trained for this. Yet here he was, standing between his CEO, her child, and a danger he couldn't even fully comprehend. "What do they want?" he asked. Catherine's answer chilled him. Alex. They want him, to control me. The boy's small hand gripped James's sleeve, his eyes pleading silently. Thunder boomed again, rattling the house as if the storm itself warned of what was coming. James had two choices: open the door, send them away, and protect himself, or close it firmly, stand his ground, and risk everything for two people who had brought chaos to his doorstep. For a moment, he hesitated, feeling the crushing weight of the decision. But when he saw Catherine's trembling hand on the doorframe, and Alex's innocent eyes full of fear, something inside him shifted. With a deep breath, James reached for the lock, turned it firmly, and shut the door against the storm, and the danger waiting outside. The moment the bolt clicked, he knew his life would never be the same again. Message. Sometimes, life places us in unexpected situations that test our courage. Helping others, especially when they are vulnerable, can come with great risk, but it also reveals the strength within us that we never knew we had. True humanity lies in standing by someone when they need it most, even if the choice changes everything. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to Text to Heart for more inspiring and emotional stories.